In this video, while we're looking at a piece inspired by one of Bach's classic keyboard works, or organ pieces, I should say, I would like to focus on the idea of what finger produces what sound. One thing I learned from studying with Jorge Caballero is that every finger has its own sound, whether it's the left hand or the right hand. And in this case, the fingering suggested brings us up to the pinky at some of the most important notes in the piece. We make our way up, and this is a really important note, and this is an important note. However, a pinky will produce a sort of frail sounding note. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. In certain pieces of music, we want something that's going to have that delicate or fragile sound. However, here, it's really reaching the top of a very exciting and intense line. So instead of doing something such as 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 3, 4, we can try this and just see how it sounds different. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, which is an interesting kind of guitaristic fingering. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So again, starting when we get to our measure 3. So we've got C, 1, D on 2, and then a ring finger gets our E, and then we come back to 1 for the C, and then we shift up, 1, 2 for E, 3, 4, F. Now, this produces a much nicer sound than using our pinky for those notes. And you might be wondering, well, why did the score get written in a different way? Well, for one thing, it might have been ghost written by someone who wasn't as sensitive to these aspects of fingerings. Or another possibility is that the exercise was written for the sake of learning how to position the hand and think in terms of these 4-fret positions. In that case, okay, 4-fret position, 4-fret position. We have one exception here, and then a 4-fret position. This is useful as a didactic tool, right? For the purpose of learning, this is great for teaching students. But if you want this to sound as good as it can possibly sound, then we can go a little bit deeper with our technique, which we've looked at today. So I hope you find that interesting. There's so many possibilities. It really mushrooms out from there, just what the possibilities are, what's practical, what sounds good, what doesn't. There's a lot of room for creativity when we start to manipulate our fingerings to produce a nicer sound. So start listening for that in your playing and look for opportunities to apply that. And I would love comments if you can share discoveries you make along those lines of using the sound of a specific finger in order to improve the quality of a recording.